Shalom Israel. Today we're going to be getting into a lesson about multiple wives. There's a lot of sisters, even sisters in the faith, they ain't really trying to accept this multiple wives thing. And it's important that sisters really humble themselves and accept it because it's in the scriptures. You get what I mean? So before we get into the lesson,
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Wahab,
so I'm going to give the honors to the elders and apostles, and a shout out to the brother that's preaching the word on the highways and byways and on the internet too. I want to shout out to the sisters that's being submissive to their man and that's reading the faith. And I want to shout out to the Smith brothers as well. So bring out Exodus 21:10.
This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage.
It said if he take him another wife, this is in the law.
Yeah. So I'll say it again. Exodus chapter 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish?
Right, so it's clearly telling you if he take himself another wife. So I don't know why sisters are being combative to this, but I know why, but you get what I mean? You've got certain brothers being combative to having multiple wives. You get what I mean? You've got the IYC that only permits brothers to have one wife. Come on, man. When the scripture says all things are lawful but not expedient. Right, so right now it's not necessarily expedient to have multiple wives. But there's brothers that are trying to make a doctrine as to where you can only have one wife, and that's complete nonsense. Go to Deuteronomy 21 and 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved, and
if a man have two wives,
one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated. Verse 16. Then shall be when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved or beloved firstborn before the sons of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. Verse 17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his.
Right, so that's basically a law, the inheritance for the children, for the two wives. So this is in the law. This is in the law. This shouldn't even be really a lesson, but you have to do these lessons because you still got brothers going against it, and especially got sisters going against it. So I just mentioned IYC.
You spoke about, huh?
Yeah, about them only permitting brothers to have one wife.
You spoke about that?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't here.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I'll bring out 1 Samuel 12 and 8.
These camp, man, the most I'm gonna deal with them,
Right, like you can't go against the doctrine to appease sisters. Because the IUIC know what they're doing. They're trying to appease the sisters.
Exactly.
That's why there's so many sisters in that camp. You get what I mean? They're trying to appease sisters.
but when the Most High start killing them, they will come to the men of the Lord.
Verse 8, yeah?
Trust me.
1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 8. When Jacob was come into Egypt, and your fathers cried unto the Lord, then the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, which brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them dwell in this place. Huh?
Bring up 1 Samuel 30, starting at verse 3.
30. Okay, this is 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 3. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captives. 1 Samuel chapter 30. Sorry, slightly. This is 1 Samuel chapter 30, verse 5. And David's 2 wives were taken captives. Ahinoam and Jezreelites, and Abigail, and wife of Nabal and Carmelite.
So yeah, right there it says David's 2 wives, and David had way more than 2 wives.
Yeah, he had way more. He had a, and that's the perfect thing we were talking about earlier. Abigail. He had Abigail, man. He took Abigail from Nabal. So Nabal was doing the rock, and the Most High killed Nabal and give Abigail to people ain't ready for the ancient vibration how Yahweh used to do it, man. You know? He had Abigail, he had like the daughter of Saul. Forgot her name. The one that was laughing at him when he was dancing.
And David just put the wayside.
Put it the wayside, I'll shut your womb or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Judges chapter 8, verse 30. And Gideon had 70 and 10 sons of his body begotten, but he had many wives.
He had many wives. 70 and 10. What's that? That's about 70, right?
What's that?
Yeah,
70 children.
Because 1 score is 20, I believe. Yeah, 1 score is 20. So if it's 3 score, it's 10, that's 70.
Right, so imagine the amount, come on man, you had many, imagine the amount of wives he had.
Wow.
You get what I mean? You probably had 10, 15, 20 wives. You get what I mean?
But even when he was saying, when Samuel was talking, they were saying when Yahweh was pissed off at David, he told him, why did you, I could have given you more women if you wanted.
Right.
I could have given you some more women if you want. Why do you have to go to Bathsheba? So if it's not a culture, why would you say, I would have given you more women? And think about it as well. How many tribes do you have in Israel? Who are we to the Most High? Women. It's women. So the Most High have 12 women, so to speak, and then after Yahweh is Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai is us, right? So we the head of the women because we have one woman. You know, sometimes it's just common sense, little thing like that. That's how you should understand that this thing is monogamy was created by Esau. Because Esau, he's big. Let's be honest. Sometimes they have one woman and they get on the side anyway.
And like it's you know, with the polygamy thing as well, like without the polygamy, you wouldn't have the 12 tribes of Israel.
Exactly.
So how, you wouldn't literally have, these ones wouldn't even exist if there wasn't polygamy, man.
I like to use Moses as a great example as well. Yeah. In Deuteronomy, let me pull it up.
Pull it out. Just pull it out and then talk about it.
It says, Deuteronomy chapter 34 verse 10. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses,
There arose a
whom
moment.
the Lord knew face to face.
See
So
that?
that's the last prophet the Most High knew face to face, and he had 2 wives.
Right. See that?
So my thing is, if that's the last person that had that connection with the Most High, and he had 2 wives, what makes one fit? You know what I'm saying? That make it make sense.
That's powerful, man.
What verse? What?
So that's the face.
This is 2 Chronicles 11:21, and Rehoboam loved Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and his concubines, for he took 18 wives and 70 concubines and begat 20 and 8 sons and 70 daughters. So come on man, our kings were doing that, man. 18 wives and many more concubines. That was the Asian vibration back in the day, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? So we can't allow the dictates of this society to pretty much dictate our actions or to dictate our thoughts or ideologies. Our thoughts and ideologies come from the scriptures.
That's why Jake love women, man. Because,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? How you want to be the one woman?
Because even there was an Edomite man that went to the Far East, and there was an Arab man that had about 70 wives.
See that?
And then the Arab man was like, "Oh, how many wives do you have?" It's like 1. The guy started laughing. The Arab man was laughing.
We're
You know
laughing,
what I mean? He was laughing. Because he's like,
It's laughable, man. You got one woman, and the earth is that big, and you got one woman.
the man there in the East laugh at men having 1 wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, how the like, look at all these women. Like, how the hell can you have 1 wife?
Look at this, you know what I'm saying? You wake up in the morning, you see them working, pop, pop, pop. You're gonna say only 1. What?
Mockery, innit?
That's crazy.
It's a joke, man.
He has a low testosterone as well.
Yeah, he's talking about really, you know. That's being around. That's why we weak, man. We weak, man. Today we weak. Today, look, when I first came, today we weak, man. This country will destroy, man. We can't even deal with this woman accordingly, man. Put them to sleep in that. People used to put up the women to sleep. Good night. But now you barely do it. She's still there, ready to go to the next man, to Johnny. She wanna, after you should go to Johnny. It's not supposed to be like that, man.
Certain women have sex with 3 different men in one day.
Yeah, of course, that's nasty.
They got dildos, man. They got massive dildos.
And that's when they come home, they have massive dildo. That's to put them to sleep. So the free men didn't do nothing. She did the big one to put them to sleep. Babylon Show 4, bro. It's mad. Come on. Women will fuck 3 men easily on a day. That's not a big deal.
That's not 3 men.
That's not a big deal.
Especially like the top harlots. Like, it's not
for real.
honestly. You hear them women the women that say, "Oh, I need a certain size for it to stimulate me." That's them top harlots. You know what I mean? They need like a
them top harlots. And when you enter, you can know like you're swimming like unless you got like a big rod. So they're looking for the big rod. They're destroyed, man. A woman not how do you know that my rod is not big? Because you be sizing them up all the years. The woman that coming to marry that's a virgin, she won't worry because she only know one size, so it's okay for her. She takes one size, it's okay with her. The women that come and say, "Oh, you go and look," because she went somewhere bigger. That's what they do, man. And they all have dildos anyway. But dildo you see it's a snake, you start running. You say, no, it's a dildo. What? Long and big like that and dark.
Oh my God.
Hey, this is the thing that we have to speak about. Okay, that's reality.
That's reality.
I don't care what people say. It's the truth, man.
It's a fact.
Okay. Tell us this. Well, I carry on.
3 hours here for 1.
4 1. Oh, not 41. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, "We will eat our own breads and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach."
Right, we pretty much went into that in depthly in the previous lesson, so I don't really have to really touch much on it. But the point is that multiple women are going to take hold of one man.
Right.
And that's sisters are going to have to accept this because it's going to happen. If you sisters want to make it into the kingdom, you're going to have to accept shit like this.
Right.
And it is what it is. You're gonna have to, but you are gonna accept anyway because that's when you're gonna tap into your survivor's nature anyway.
Right.
Because women are survivors by nature.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So they're gonna conform to whatever society, whatever condition society is in. Like the women are gonna pretty much like conform or acquiesce to. So bring out Deuteronomy 17.
Even the earth is similar to like a woman, man. The earth, and it's, even though Esau is damaging the earth is still surviving, even though it's having like tarmac floors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
man.
right.
So
that's why, yeah.
Because even if you analyze Rebecca's womb, like it represents the earth.
Yeah, that's why they call the 5 percenters. They call the woman Earth.
Mother Earth, yeah.
The Earth, because obviously yes, the Earth, your seed, you plant the Earth, and the Earth,
So like the Earth is basically like a womb, man. And you know how our forefather Jacob was wrestling with Esau. Now it's a wrestle, but it's more of like a spiritual wrestling. We're pulling down strongholds, like spiritually. Yeah, go ahead.
17.
What verse? What chapter?
17 and 17.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a verse that sisters use to try and say that a man can't have multiple wives. So we're gonna break it down.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold.
So that's not talking about a man can't have multiple wives. That's talking about don't multiply wives to the extent where your heart is turned away from the Lord. That's what it's talking about. That's why it said don't multiply yourself gold and silver. It's not talking about you can't multiply yourself gold and silver. It's talking about don't multiply to the extent where you fall out the truth, you fall out the faith. That's what it's talking about. So sisters, you can't be using that scripture out of context. You get what I mean? You can't.
They better stop talking, man. Why are they talking, these sisters?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's keep quiet, man. You're not even supposed to talk like that, man.
Silence in the churches.
You know?
Bring out Matthew 5. This is another one as well. Matthew 5 and 31.
This is Matthew chapter 5 verse 31. It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. Verse 32. But I say unto you, that whosoever put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committeth adultery.
So yeah, you got a lot of sisters that use this verse to try and substantiate the fact, that a man can only have one wife. Just because it says wife, just because it doesn't use the plural term of wives. Listen, that's just talk. Yahweh Shah was substantiating the law of divorce. That's all it was. You can't take these things out of context.
They do it on purpose, man. They know exactly.
They know exactly what it is.
They just want to beat us our own game, but it's not going to happen. Isaiah 4:1 is there for you. You're going to be submitted. That's like a liar. That's what I'm going to say.
1 Timothy 3:2.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. Verse 3.
That's it. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That's also a scripture they use as well. But no, it says bishop. That's the role of a bishop or a deacon. That's the overseer of the church. So that was mostly the elders. You get what I mean?
And also, let's say it's us, yeah? Let's say it's us, right? You gotta understand the wisdom behind it. We said earlier that the truth is like our woman, man.
That's right.
So when you have the first woman, that's what Paul understood. Because the grandeur of his mission wouldn't allow him to be, with women, because women can be distraction. Because these two persons are women, so you take another woman, that's two women. If you take another woman, that's three women. Two women plus the proof, that's three women. That's distraction. That's why he's saying that. Because the reason why he was saying that, he was giving wisdom because the brothers had an issue already in Timothy, in the Greece, where in that particular church, where they had 2-3 women, and that was distracting them from doing the work. Right. So he was saying, listen, it's best to regulate be with your woman, be with one woman, and do the work, and be focused. That's what he was saying. And even us in this truth, we're happy sometimes when we don't have women, but we find ourselves to be more focused if we don't have women. So behind these Paul, that's what Paul and Peter say. If you don't have this Holy Spirit, you will not understand Paul, because Paul was very deep, man. Okay, but if a man can handle 2 or 3 women, what's your problem? It's biblical. So that means that Paul is going against the Torah when he himself was a student of the law. No, he never went against it. He was just using wisdom to regulate certain churches.
It was simply to establish order.
Establish order.
That's right.
Because there was a lot of new people coming into the faith, and they can't juggle these multiple wives and doing the work of the Lord. They can't do that. You get what I mean? So that's why even earlier in the lesson I said all things are lawful but not expedient. So right now it's not expedient for this time multiple wives.
Right.
You get what I mean? But when the time comes, it will be expedient because it's going to fulfill prophecy.
Right.
You get what I mean? And that's why also in that verse had to substantiate one wife.
That's right.
Why do you think I had to substantiate one wife? Because, as the brother said, more brothers are having more wives.
It's a normal thing to Jake to have 2-3 women, man. It's normal for Jake. Right now we're limited, that's why we can't have it, but it's normal for Jake.
Even the Arabs, they got multiple wives. They've done religion. They got 4 women. You know, like most of these Arab people, they copy your heritage, man. That whole thing of like taking 4 women, that's really art.
That's us.
Right. That's it. Like all these cultures in the East, they do that shit.
That's
man.
right.
You know what I mean? Because they've upkept to a certain extent the Asian vibrations. It's just in the West that things are, certain things are frowned upon and they're trying to promote monogamy and all this shit. But yeah, man.
And also, these men should understand the reason why Esau is pushing that, monogamy is because his gene is recessive.
That's right.
And us, we can procreate. Our own, we can give babies. So what happened is that now they see that. I give you an example in Bulgaria. In 2009, 2 years ago. No, 2009 I believe, there were 7 million. Then there were 9 million, and today there's 7 million.
Right.
So they are recessive, their gene is recessive, they can't procreate. There's more elderly than there's youth.
Right.
But that's the contrary, man. We give baby like that, pop, 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 pop. So it's a political move to stop us. Because they're thinking the more they become powerful, the more they're going to take us over.
So the Egyptians did, man, they had to kill the boys, man, because the Egyptians knew that the man is what makes the nation, man. And if you get rid of the men, right, then you can be able to control the people, man. Because the woman is not a threat, the man is the threat.
So you have to understand that reality. So the woman now in this system walk hand in hand with Esau. It benefits her to say, oh no polygamy.
Yeah.
Because she think like the serpent.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. So that's the end of the lesson. I hope brothers and sisters found this lesson, and I hope sisters are prepared. You know what I mean?
Listen.
I hope sisters are prepared.
What I'm going to say, Isaiah 4:1, going to regulate. That's what I'm going to say. When the time comes, they will understand. They will fall in order, man. They will fall in order, man. We're waiting for that time, the patience of the saints. So we're waiting for, but until then, we're going to suffer a little bit. If you can grab you, be a hunter, man.
That's right.
Grab you something, but we have to release. That's the reality, that's the sad reality of it. Unless you can stay like that for a while like Paul, otherwise you're going to find yourself masturbating. See, me, I want to be real, brother. So they can go to that school of realness, they can understand. If you stay long enough, unless you have that spirit, you can go longer, you're going to be masturbating. Especially if in the world you were master of masturbating. When you come in this truth, you don't have something to release, you can keep it for 1 month, 2 months. One day you're going to wake up, the rod is hard, boom, you want to release. There's no woman, so you're going to go to porn.
I can do it. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's fantastic. See, that's fantastic. You're an example. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of brothers are struggling with it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can stay there, stay there. But if you can't find you a woman, that's me. So I'm not saying go to Harlot because brother will say that. Oh, he said I go to Harlot. Me myself, I don't go to Harlot. So I don't even go to. If I don't have it right now, I had one. Big men like me, That's how you know that we suffer in this kingdom. Big men like me, I have it, now I don't have it. I'm gonna stay like that until I have it. But I can't wait to have me one. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality.
That's real.
Okay?
That's real.
Brother, you can cool down.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the end of it, man. As I said, sisters, prepare, man. You get what I mean? Prepare to take hold of one man.
For real.
You're gonna have to share. Here's where
you're gonna have to share, man. You're gonna have to share meat, man.
Right.
I know you don't like meat, but you're gonna have to share meat. You know what I'm saying? You have to share me with Rita. Rita and Celine.
Right, because if you're not willing to do that, then you might get ravished in the streets.
Hey, that's one reality. So you might as well touch it, man. Right. Talk about that quickly before you close out, about the ravishing.
Bring out what's it, Isaiah 32, I think. Is it Isaiah 32?
I got a brief about the ravishing. This is the book of Zechariah. chapter 14 and verse 2. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. Woo. And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the rest of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
Yeah, women
Right,
ravished.
so
Where's that?
Zechariah 42.
Zechariah.
14 and 2, yeah.
Yeah, if sisters don't have a man of the law to protect them, that might be your fate. You might get ravished. I mean, it sounds harsh, but that's what the law said, man.
I got Micah 7 and 10. Man, that's the one. That one is a tune, like the Jamaicans say. But them say, a big tune, a big tune. That's the one, man. Micah 7 and 10 says this. That's for all those rebellious, women of our
Bad bitches, man.
Bad bitches, man. Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Who break that?
Right, so when all calamity breaks, I mean, when all chaos ensues and there's war going on, I mean, how are you going to defend yourself? You're going to be like, man, in the streets. Bro, you're going to get ravished, and then you're going to be down there laying on the floor, might get ravished again. You get what I mean, man?
You're ravished, man.
That's right. And then,
Ravished, man.
you're going to be suicidal after that. You might just want to kill yourself.
A lot of them will kill themselves.
Exactly. And your dead carcass on the floor, and then, when the war's ensuing, niggas are stamping on you and that. You get what I mean?
You don't walk like that, you stand on that body. I bet you don't even hear that. The stink of the body, man.
And the dustbin,
It's coming, but people don't believe in that. But then you go in Ukraine, people dying. You think I don't understand people. People are weird, man. In West Africa, we saw that war, civil war. We saw it. How it manifests. Even in Ukraine, right? I mean, the women are getting raped. That's something people don't know about. But women are getting raped.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that'll be closing out, man. So, we close out.
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Raha, Rakah, Wadash. Wrong Yisrael. Death to Babylon. Shalom Israel. Shalom.